Hello and welcome to another session from us here at Microfocus. This session is focused on our point of view around Salesforce.com or SFDC UI testing. My name is Don Jackson and I'm a Chief Technologist here at Microfocus. We're going to cover the challenges that you face in testing SFDC and how you can overcome those challenges with no-code UI testing, with a demo of that, and or with low-code UI test automation with a demo of that as well. And then we'll do a quick wrap-up and a reference back to our video that explains the concepts of no-code and low-code UI testing in case you aren't familiar with the concepts. Now, in fact, if you aren't already familiar, you might want to link out to that video first so that you aren't getting confused by the terminology that we use inside of this video. Now, when you're implementing and developing custom content for Salesforce.com, you're typically using a low-code development approach. And all the aspects of low-code development that we talked about in the previous reference video apply here. Now, Salesforce.com has implemented its own development framework with custom object types called Salesforce Lightning. Now, these objects, when using properties-based object identification inside of UI test automation, they have different object properties than other web objects, and thus, many tools just don't handle them well. Now, each user inside of Salesforce.com can custom configure the layout and what objects get displayed in which order or displayed at all. And the objects that they have access to are driven by role-based security. Therefore, you really need to have a solution that lends itself to testing the flow of the user journey through Salesforce.com, plus can handle those user customizations. Now, a lot of data in Salesforce.com is consumable data. For example, with the sales app, in the leads get created and then transitioned into opportunities, consuming that lead. You need to have a good TDM or test data management strategy of how to handle this consumable transactional data and the master data for that as well. Now also, Salesforce.com at the time of this video supports the latest versions of Safari, Chrome, and Firefox, meaning that you really should be running your tests across multiple browsers. Salesforce.com also has a mobile app, but doesn't support mobile browsers for tablets. So just like in the last bullet point, you need to run your tests not only on multiple browsers, but on the Salesforce.com app across iOS and Android, plus whatever devices your users leverage. You need a solution where your test script can run on multiple browsers, on both OS versions of the app, and across many devices. And further compounding this is that the folk who usually test Salesforce.com are not IT developers or even IT members, but usually business users who are pulled in to do a test. These people are not technical. They shy away from code. If you show them code, they might run screaming for the hills. And if you expect them to contribute to test automation, the solution needs to be conducive to this level of technical expertise. You need to utilize a solution that doesn't require significant coding and preferably as little as possible. And then the last point here is the rapid release cadence from Salesforce itself. The release cadence from Salesforce.com is 3 releases per year. Plus you layer on top of that whatever your custom code release cadence is that you've introduced. So you really need to be able to rapidly develop and revise your test automation in order to stay relevant and reap benefits from your test automation initiatives. Now let's look at how these challenges can be addressed by a no-code UI test automation with AI codeless in conjunction with model-based testing. Now, just like what we talked about in the no-code, low-code UI testing video, no-code UI test automation with AI codeless leverages NLP or natural language processing, which accelerates the development of and reduces the maintenance time of test automation. Plus, it allows us to broaden the reach of test automation to non-technical business folk. The AI computer vision and OCR or optical character recognition capabilities of AI codeless means that as long as the object is being displayed to the user on the screen, or even off the screen with the auto-scrolling capabilities, the steps will still be able to identify and properly act against the objects. The model-based testing provides a mechanism for reusing data and process flows and centralizing units or components so that you only have to automate something once, and when necessary, only have to maintain it once. And last but certainly not least, AI Codeless can execute cross-browser and cross-platform when you leverage the Value Edge Functional Test Lab, or UFT Mobile, to test against iOS and Android across many different private and or public real devices and or emulators. So now let's look at a demo of Salesforce.com test automation specifically for the Sales App Accounts tab. Now we're going to look at Salesforce.com UI test automation using AI Codeless and model-based testing. So you can see here we have a Salesforce folder and we have children folders for different apps. I'm just starting to create this, and I can drill into the test, the model that I've created for Salesforce itself. So you can see here I've got a common element here for logging in, and then I go into the different apps that I can go into, and then I have a common element of log out. And if I drill into these, I can see for the login model has a submodel of opening up the web application. Obviously, I'll be setting up a second one that can decision point so that it can actually open up a mobile device and the app for it on the mobile device. And then logging in, and then it goes into the different apps. Sales, marketing, and other apps. And if I drill into the sales app, which is where I've started my work, I can see that in sales, I navigate to the app, and then I start running additional models, submodels under there. One for accounts, one for contacts, one for leads, so on and so forth. And then I can drill into that as well and see the details of that particular one. And in this case, all that I've done is creating a new sales account record and then deleting that record. Now, if I drill in further, I can look at the actual script for this. So I'm going to drill into this particular unit. You can see that this is already automated. It's actually been marked as ready, so that means it's been developed. And I can look at the script itself, and I can see that the script is in near plain English. Click the new button, type in the value for the parameter new account name into the account name text box, click the save, and then verify that the check mark exists, the check mark that shows up in the notifications window in Salesforce that says the action that you did is completed. So next, we're going to actually show this actually executing. So now I'm going to run this test suite that I've got this test in. It's the only test that I have in this suite. I'm going to tell it, let's go ahead and run it. And then I can navigate over to the client machine where I'm going to be running this, and we'll see it here pop up in just a second as soon as it pulls out to get the jobs that it has for it. And now it's executing. And now it's going to Salesforce and logging in using the credentials that I have set up in the data tab and logging in. And as you can see, I'm using a developer version of Salesforce. So I want to go to the specific app that I have in mind here, which in this case is sales. And I'm going to navigate to sales. And then I'm going to pick the tab that I'm going to work against, which will be accounts. And then it's going to create a new account and type in the data, once again, that I passed in from the data sheet in model-based testing. It's making sure that that checkbox showed up. And now it's going to go back to accounts, and it's going to go and delete that account that it just created. And that's the end of this test. So then it's going to log out. And that is now the execution. And now I can look at the report. And I can navigate through the details of the report to see what it is that I did, what I acted against. You can see it tells you what I acted against on the detailed report. Now, just like with our no-code UI testing solution, AI Codeless, our low-code UI testing solution, UFT1, can work with model-based testing in the same manner. Just you don't have the NLP or natural language processing capabilities, but you can leverage the low-code capabilities like we showed in the no-code, low-code video. So all of the model-based testing benefits we talked about and showed can be reaped just when you absolutely need to. You can implement a business process in a low-code manner. In this case, you'd be leveraging low-code UI test automation. While the technical level is a little higher, you'll see in the demo that it's still really easy to use. This also leverages that same AI computer vision and optical character recognition engine that we showed with AI codeless. And the benefits of model-based testing are still here. And additionally, UFT1 can also execute cross-browser and connect with, when working with Value Edge Functional Test Lab or UFT Mobile, it can also execute across multiple public and or private, real and or emulated devices. Now you might be wondering why I'm wearing this particular shirt. This particular shirt I got in 2019. And the reason for that is before we jump into the demo, I thought it'd be helpful to show the release notes from UFT1 1452, which was released March 26, 2019. In that release, we added into the existing license capabilities support for Salesforce Lightning. That's right, you didn't have to buy a new license or use a different tool. If you already had UFT1, we added this capability into the tool. Now let's drill into that demo of UFT1. So I thought it'd be good to show that same business process and how easy it is to create that using the properties-based low-code implementation. So what I have here is I have some comments in here, and I put some comments in of what the AI statements would be, but I wanted to show the properties-based that we released way back in 2019 that you already have if you have a UFT1 license. So I want to click on the New button, and then I want to type in the name, and I have to set it to be the parameter, and then I want to click the Save button. And you can see how easy it was for me to build this test in a low-code method. So now I'm going to go ahead and run that. So I have my application in the same spot, and I'm building a component that would be a unit inside of model-based testing. So I'm going to go ahead and run that, and you can see it actually execute. And these are capabilities, like I said, that we introduced back in 2019. And you can see in here that same business process executing through here. Now, I can also leverage, instead of using the properties-based, I could use an AI-based test. So let me show you how easy that is as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to uncomment these, comment out those ones that I just created, and I can rerun that same thing. So it's AI button, new, text box, enter in the parameter, and click the save. So it's the same business process, and I can view it in this low-code view as well. And I could also use the AI transformation assistant to do that as well. So both properties-based, which is what we introduced in 2019, and the AI capabilities work for Salesforce.com. And with that completion of that demo of UFT1, I want to thank you for taking the time today to listen to us and listening to our point of view around Salesforce.com or SFDC UI testing. And here's that QR code again for the video around no-code and low-code UI testing for your reference. Thanks, and hope you have a great rest of your day.
If you liked the video, please click the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you get notified when we release new videos.